I'm so happy that we were finally able to connect with Nooshin. And on this Gurur Poornima celebration, it is with great pleasure that I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Nooshin Mehrabani, a longtime Sai Baba devotee and friend. Nooshin has had a successful career as a journalist, both in Iran and the US. And after hearing about Sai Baba in 1991, after several trips to India, she moved from her native Iran to Vancouver. She was an active member of our Sai community till 2007, when she moved permanently to Puttaparthi. There she completed and published her very inspiring book on her journey with Sai Baba called Love and Suffering, My Road to Liberation. It has already been translated into many languages. She has contributed with several articles and interviews on Radio Sai and regularly gives satsangs both in Puttaparthi and overseas to eager devotees who ask her to share her experiences with Swami over the years, as well as her many interviews. She has volunteered tirelessly in the Western Canteen in the ashram. It is always a pleasure to listen to her inspired wisdom and deep understanding of Swami's teachings. I am sure this talk finally, as we get connected to her, will be no different. Nooshin always has something valuable and uplifting to say about her inspired observations on life and her love for Sai Baba. With no further ado, I would like to introduce Nooshin Mehrabani, speaking to us finally from Puttaparthi. Nooshin. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram to everybody. So happy to see all of you safe and sound. And thank you, Marina, for the kind words. I started, don't go to details because we don't have so much. We are already probably half an hour late for this meeting. I'm sorry, it was all one of his lila, because he's the one choosing the time. It's not us. We're supposed to start it exactly at 7:30, but this didn't happen. Anyway, in month of March, beginning of month of March, there was not so much news about the coronavirus. We were all doing our work. We thought it's something, this virus has came from China, is going to stay in China, and had no idea in future widely it's going to spread all over the world. Middle of the March, one early morning, Swami came to my dream. In my dream, Swami was sitting in the wheelchair, and a young man was pushing Swami, and I was the only one besides Swami. I was in the room, and this man wanted to push Swami to his interview room. His room, I don't know which room he was going, but as soon as Swami saw me, he told this man to bring him to me. When Swami got closer to me and I was sitting at his feet, I saw these small bumps in his body, in his skin, all over his face, hands, and feet. It's like a coronavirus bumps when they show on TV. This ball, you can see there's a bump on it. That was on Swami's body. And this time Swami even pulled his robe up to his knees, and he showed me all his body. These bumps is not only in the face and hand, in all his body is this bumps cover. I was touching his feet and asking Swami, what are these? And I was sick to my stomach. Swami, what are these? Why you are like that? He didn't give me any answer. And I woke up in the morning. Immediately I knew what Swami was, what the message was. He was telling me he's taking this coronavirus, this dangerous virus, into himself. Usually this is what Swami does with his devotees, to save his devotee. He takes all the diseases he has done for me, especially when in one of my dreams he told me I had a stroke, and then later I saw Swami in the darshan. He was the one paralyzed, half of his body was paralyzed. But now this time I don't think, and I didn't think it was only for me. I thought it's for the whole world, and especially for Swami's devotees. I thought I needed some silence fasting. I needed to be quiet because after having this dream, I didn't feel so good. I asked the canteen if I could get 10 days off. I could go home, and I decided to read the book Sri Satyarita, the life story of Shirdi. They said it's okay. The weather was getting very hot. Month of March, April, and May in Puttaparthi is very, very hot. It's a summer here. I came home and I went to some shopping, grocery shopping, because for 10 days I wanted to stay home and not to go out at all. And meanwhile, I turned off my phone and the TV, everything. All the technology was off in my home. Nothing was working. My connection with outside world was off, actually. I didn't know what was going on in the world. Until that Thursday, when I started to read the book, I went to my bookshelf, which is behind of me, and I picked up the book, Sri Satyarita, and I saw something fell down from inside the book. I bent it, and I saw there is a sealed package of Udi. Inside the book fell down. This book, I have read it many times. I opened it, I put it back. I have never seen anything like that. And this was the miracle. So he was showing me, even before I start the book, he was blessing me. And then I I remember one of the story in this book, the Sri Satyarita. One time in Shirdi, not in Shirdi, in India, was the pandemic. Dangerous virus was spreading. And with the Shirdi's instruction, people put the Udi all around the Shirdi village. And in that time, nobody died from the virus. And he saved everybody, all his devotees. And now he's showing me this Udi, which I'm going to show it to you. And this is the Udi he gave me. And one time he's writing the Shirdi Baba's organization in English, one side, and another side is in Hindi or other languages, which I don't understand. I have not opened it. I want to just keep this like this, it's so precious. And I read the book, and I pray to Swami to help all his devotees and to just keep them safe, take care of them. And when I pray, I usually don't pray only for myself. Since I believe in Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, may all the beings in the world be happy and prosperous and happy. I don't believe that just praying for ourselves. For me, it doesn't work. I have to pray for everybody, for people I know, people I don't know, Sai devotee, the other people. Anyway, I finished the book in 1 week, and usually Swami used to give me confirmation about acknowledgement about my praying, and this time he gave me before. He gave me this Udi. But I felt so much peace, so much joy, and the rest of the 3 days I had, I prayed, I did all the mantras, chanting, and whatever I knew. And when the 10 days finished, I started to turn on my phone and the TV. Then I saw, oh my God, what's happening in the world? I had no idea this virus is so dangerous and it's spread it all over the world, and people losing their life because of this virus. And I was really shocked. I was very surprised. I put myself in lockdown for 10 days. Now I could see the whole India was in lockdown. Ashram is closed. Everything. That was so much changes and unbelievable. I never thought Swami's ashram would be ever closed, you know. But now we know we take advantage of all the opportunity. On the difficult time, there is always lesson to be learned. You know, these worshiping places are closed all over the world, and the people, they don't rely on going to the temple or mosque or church to pray to God. You know, they had no choice to go inside, deep inside, and connect with the God in the heart. I think that was the best lesson we could learn. We see omnipresent God is everywhere. It's not only in Puttaparthi or in the ashram or you know, in India. He's everywhere. He's formless, and that's why he's accessible. He's in the heart, and we cannot find God outside. God is not outside. Outside, whatever they pointing is pointing to inside, going inside. All the sign, the creation is the signifies the God inside. Talking about the excuse me, talking about the worshiping places and all these things, and then I remember. I'm sorry. Let me take some water. For last 30 years, I have been, you know, practicing Swami's teaching. Now I was thinking, what do I need in this time especially? What is important to practice this time? So many teaching is there, but now I thought a strong faith, patience, tolerance, acceptance, and surrendering completely to God would help us. Keep us through all this difficulty and suffering. We come out healthy and a stronger devotee with unshakable faith. Doubt is very dangerous things right now. We should be careful. We should not doubt our faith in Swami. If anything wrong happens or any challenges, we should not think we have been punished. This collective karma has been happened to us in the whole planet. Is not for punishment. I never think even death is a punishment. Death is a destiny. We are dying. We all of us exiting from one door and leaving this world is not a punishment. Don't think that way. Thinking positive has been helping me to go through this difficult time, because I'm alone by myself in this village, not seeing anybody. Maybe once a week I go out and get my grocery, come home again, and just trusting Swami is with me and he's gonna take care of me. I remember one of the discourses Swami was giving over 20 years back. He was telling to his devotees what they had to do, what is the best thing for full-time devotees, for a spiritual aspirant. What is the best thing to do is quitting the meat, not the smoking, or not using the alcohol. These are the things Swami was emphasizing for being the whole time, full-time devotees. I was thinking, last 50 years, we have seen so many of these viruses, so many diseases, pandemics, and spread many parts of the world. But this time is global, is everybody. we all go through, because we have our own share to creating all this karma for ourselves, and everything has consequences, of course. It's a lesson to it. We have to learn. It's not punishment. It's a learning process. The life is learning process. And I remember, at least I have heard about MERS, SARS, chicken flu, and mad cow disease. Now is COVID-19. These are all diseases. We have seen it, we experience it, but still, unfortunately, we are a slow learner. We are not learning. God has to try harder with us. We are not in just pamperings and being nice and kind. It seems we don't learn. He had to be a little bit harder on us this time. And that's why he just put us through these experiences, really. And for me, everything is workshop in the world. Everything is about learning Swami, you know. We all say we love God. We claim we love God, we adore God, and we don't ask ourselves if we really love His creation. If we love the nature, if we love the 5 elements, which we have been made of these 5 elements, are we taking care of it? The water, we pollute the water, we pollute the air, the noise, the pollution, everything, you know, we pollute everything around us, abusing the nature, abusing this creation. And you can see after a few months of lockdown, how if you look at all the oceans and the waters and rivers, you can see the air, how fresh the air is. I don't believe it when I saw the Delhi, which is one of the most polluted cities in the world. You could see actually everything there. It was so clear. I was so happy to see the animal in the street. They coming and they don't have fear of anybody. They just coming around and running around and enjoying themselves. You know, this time it was time for us to go locked down and for them to be free. And God giving us the taste of the being locked down and being not to be able to make choices. You know, we take always for granted our small choices. We make the freedom. We can do anything. We can go anywhere without any fear. Now these choices has been taken away from us, to reminding us we have to always be grateful to God for every single things we have in life. And these things, I think has been very, very important to me. And as we say, omnipresent God, God is there always. I want to remind you I remember one of my dreams I had in Swami's birthday, few days before his birthday in 2019, last year. In my dream, it was lots of people in the stadium, and it was some steps going to the veranda, and Swami was there. But I was down the steps, I couldn't see Swami. Lots of people were there. Suddenly one Lady Sevadal came and he pointed where the side I was standing, said, "Come." I looked back. I didn't know whom she's calling. Lots of people next to me, and I didn't know. I was just standing there, not to move. Everybody actually standing, not moving, because they were not sure whom she's calling. And she came closer and pointed at me. She said, "You, come." I went. She said, "Go up the steps, go up." And just like that. Climbing the stairs, I went up, and I saw, of course, beautiful Swami in his white robe, sitting on a wheelchair. So beautiful. So much light was coming out of Swami. As soon as he saw me, he raised his 2 hands like this. He said, "Oh, Nooshin, come, come." I was so surprised to see Swami, so happy to see me, because I was always happy to see Swami like that, you know, not Swami doesn't show so much emotion to see the devotees. And I went, and we both were holding each other's hand like this, and tears was coming from my eyes, and I was choking and telling Swami how much I love him and how much I have missed him. As soon as I said, Swami, I miss you so much, he said, he got serious. He said, if you talk like that, I'm not going to speak to you. I didn't say a word. I just kept quiet. And then Swami asked me to push him to interview room. In the interview room, some ladies and gents separately, they were sitting and waiting for Swami to come. And I was not part of the interview. I was not waiting to discuss anything with Swami. I was actually helping inside the room and rearranging his flower, beautiful yellow rose flower next to his chair was there. And I was folding his shawl, because November is, you know, is cold here in especially for India, and putting it next to his wheelchair. Then I was thinking, I should get a job here. I was just thinking like that. I was so happy to work for Swami in his room. I said, I hope I get a job here. As soon as I was thinking like that, I woke up. I woke up, and I just remember the dream, and I knew what was Swami is telling me. It was the message, it was so clear and loud, you know. In 2011, when Swami left the body, and I was passing the glass cascade and I saw Swami there, I didn't feel any sensation toward the body. I was thinking, I always was happy when I see Swami, you know, but now I am not feeling so much about only the body, I see the body. Then some awareness came from inside telling me your relationship with Swami has been always Atma to Atma, was not with the body. Nobody's relationship is body to body. It's always is Atma, is related to another Atma in another person. This was so beautiful, and since then I was thinking like that. Swami is really God, he's omnipresent God, and he's not his body, and just entertaining this kind of thought in my mind until this dream. This dream, when I told Swami, I miss you. When you say you're missing somebody, you miss somebody's form. You are not missing omnipresent God, because omnipresent, we don't walk and say, oh, omnipresent God, I miss you. Because I know he's there with you. Why should you miss him? He's present there with you. But if you say, I miss you, you're referring to the form, it means there is attachment to it. And Swami doesn't want us to have the attachment to the body, our body or anybody else's body. The reason I have been able to live here 13 and a half years now is because I have lost that kind of attachment toward everybody around in my life. I have one son, and I have sister and brother in US, all of them far away from me. I see them maybe every 2, 3, 4 years. It's not like every year I'm going to see them. But I really don't miss, physically, I don't miss anybody, because I know love is formless, and love is God, and God is love. Love is undercurrent of everything exists in this world. Love is the one binding the righteousness, peace, non-violence, and truth. Love is most essential and important in everybody's life, you know. We are so happy to have Swami in our life. We are already winner in life. I think we already reached our goal. Just knowing Swami, just knowing God in the form is the most important. That's why by his will and my choice, I am in Puttaparthi. And I'm not deciding to go anywhere. Not even in 1 second through this all lockdown, I was wishing, oh, I hope I was there in US with my family or my son. I was thinking, I am here. Even though I am alone, I'm not lonely. That's why Swami is taking care of me, because I feel like an orphan. Swami is my mother and father. I don't have anybody. If you feel like that, for anybody, any of you, if you feel like that, that is strongly, Swami is only one you have, and you give your heart to Swami, he would lock up himself into your heart and he will never complain. Like we complain when we are in lockdown. He never complained. Permanently, he would lock up himself in our heart and be there always. This is, our fortune. We should always remember faith is most important, and we can never say, oh, I have enough patience. Even though if I have patience, I have tolerance, or I have surrendered to God, but it's never enough. Until we are in this body, we should always practice more and more. It's never enough to have patience. Being in this lockdown needs lots of patience, lots of acceptance, lots of trusting God. Only by trusting God, He gets involved in our life. If we are not focusing on Swami, then he goes somewhere which they love him, they trust him, they need his help. We always have to focus on him. This is what is important to me. You may laugh of this example I'm giving you, because rainy season, monsoon has been started in India right now. Once in a while it's raining until it gets more and more. And 3 days ago it was raining, and I was just so quiet and went front of my window. I said, Swami, I have not seen rainbow for so many months, and I need to see the rainbow. Rainbow is symbol of hope and happiness and this. Then I went to other room and came back. I said, big rainbow in the sky. So beautiful. I felt, oh, I love my relationship with God. Whatever I want from him, it's just he's giving it to me. It's just so beautiful to know God can hear you all the time, and he would give you the answer all the time. And I want that kind of, I cannot, go for less. Because now my expectation with this relationship has been gone up so much, and Swami wants it that way. Swami wants all of us to have this close relationship with him. I remember when he left his body long time back in 2011, 6 months after he left the body, all the ex-students started to come and eat at the canteen. And, one day I was looking at them and just thinking, oh, Swami, these students are so lucky. You are so close to them, just like that. It was simple thought. And at night, Swami came to my dream. He was in the circle of his students. He was talking to them. I was sitting aside. And just looking at Swami. After he finished, he came and sat next to me. And I repeated same thing I told him in the morning. I repeated that to Swami. I said, Swami, these students are so lucky, you are very close to them. He gave me the beautiful answer. He said, outside, I'm close and friendly with everybody. Inside, I'm close to some people. Then he said, I'm close to you. I said, I know, Swami, can I do something to be closer to you? It was like a greed to be just closer and closer to Swami always, And this is the truth is, he just, what we see outside is different with the relationship inside with Swami, And we have to hold on to his feet. When he left the body, again, he came to my dream 3 days after. He told me, always hold on to my feet. This is like what I needed, to hold on to Swami's feet. In this lifetime, my spiritual resume maybe has not been very profound and good, because my family, none of them believe in Swami, and I didn't have the first, second, third generation of Swami's devotee in my life, which people always saying, oh, I'm the fourth generation of Sai devotees. I cannot say that, but I can say in my previous life, I have such a good resume with Swami. That's why I came so close to him, you know. And we all saying, I came to Swami. Marina was telling, I came, long time devotee. Is good to know Swami for so many years. It's good to be close to him, have some experiences. But this relationship has not been ended by him leaving his body. This relationship only started in different level, in atomic level, which we have to, you know, recognize that. We have different relationship with Swami, right? That it's good to start with Swami in any level and so many years, but how we finish with Swami is important. Are we with Swami until end of our life? Are we with Swami working for him until the last breath? Are we planning to bring more people to Swami by our being example? You know, these are the most important. It's not enough. Some people say, oh, I know Swami. I also have traveled to Puttaparthi. I had interview, or I had this gift. All these things is okay. It's his blessing. You know, his experiences is Allah. But also remember, so many people came to Swami. They had all these things, but still they turned back from Swami because they used the spiritual bank account. They finished it in this lifetime, and they didn't replace it with the more merit and good work and you know, all this good action. And that's why one day they wake up, they feel they don't have the same feeling for Swami. We have to be careful. That's why the doubt should go completely. Whatever Swami does, we have to accept it unconditionally. He tests us all the time. When he left his body 10 years earlier, that was the biggest test. I don't think this coronavirus is the biggest test. I think when he left his body 10 years earlier, that was the biggest test for the devotees. And we have to be careful. We have to just remember. One of the reasons I live in Puttaparthi, because I want to always remember Swami. I want to always to be in his fold. And I know being in the world is not easy, because you get involved in the physical world and material world, and it's inevitable. You know, it's not possible to 100% all the time concentrate on God. But I think the youngster there is so happy. I want them to know, all the young adults, which my heart goes to them, because this is the most difficult time for them. With that much of energy they have, now they have to stay home. They cannot go out. They don't have the choices to running around, but they still following these rules. And I really appreciate it. Especially the Sai devotees' children are so lucky to born in the Sai family and grow in the Sai family, and they are the leader of tomorrow. They should know that they are different from the other kids that sit next to them in the school. They are close to God. They already, even though they are young, they are close to God, and God chose them to be in this family. Their destiny, they have the good karma to come to the born in the Sai family. They should never take that one for granted. I think I already talked for 5 minutes. I supposed to only talk for 45 minutes, but we started late, and I want everybody to have their dinner in time. Anyway, before the finishing this talk, I would like to all the participants pray for the all those people who left their body because of this coronavirus. please pray for them. If they have to come back to this world, they come back to the world free of diseases, poverty, violence, stress, and anxiety. God bless you. May Swami always protect you, and love Swami, and I'm sure he loves you more. He loves you more. Thank you so much for listening to me. I am really in debt to Swami to giving me the opportunity to always talk about him and hear about him. I also love to hear other people's experiences. It's not always I like to talk, I like to also listen to other people. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Maybe, is it okay if you can field a couple of questions people may have?
Sure, sure.
Okay, thank you. So the floor is open for anybody who wants to ask questions of Nooshin.
Yeah. Nooshin, you had mentioned something when we were talking earlier about some talk that Swami gave in Vrindavan or something, and and he said something that was going to happen in 17 years. Could you share that with everybody?
Yeah, in 2008, when last time Swami was in Vrindavan, and I was there in Whitefield, Professor Venkatesh Rama was giving the discourse talk in front of Swami, and after he finished, Swami called him to himself and just told him something. He came back to the mic and said, Swami is telling us in 17 or 18 years, the whole world is going to change. Peace is going to come back to earth. All the countries who are enemy right now, they are going to be friends. And that was such a big news, even though it was like a 2008, already so many years passed. We have 4 or 5 more years to go. And if they give us the house, is old house, and they tell us to make a new house. What we have to do? First, we have to demolish what that old house is. What is exactly what is God is doing with us in this world? We have been doing so many wrong things. We have made so many unwise decisions, and that's why we need to change. Which everything is changing so fast. I don't know if we can keep up with that pace. Are we fast enough? One day, every media they talk about social distancing, and tomorrow you wake up, somebody, black man is dead, and you call, you hear about social injustice. Is everything changing? But all is good. What I see light in everything happening. Is if all these things doesn't happen around us, if all these challenges doesn't come our way, we are not, we are not trying to get rid of it. We are not finding the way to get rid of these challenges, how to deal with it. Swami has given us the tool. We all know how to deal with our problem when the problem comes, And also we have to know everything has a time limit. We don't think this virus is going to be forever on earth. In just a couple of years, we are not going to even remember or talk about coronavirus anymore. Even if we were the happiest people in this world, it still has a time limit. Everything has a time limit. Just be patient, be tolerant, and wait until God will take care of everything. Everything as it is perfect as it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else who have any questions? Jamshed? The ever smiling one. Any questions?
Jamshed is hiding.
Nooshin, is it still closed? Parthi is still closed?
Yes, the ashram is closed because not only all the other temples are closed, especially ashram, because it has many residents. Permanently they live in the ashram, and most of them are elderly, just like me, and they need to take care of their health. They are more in danger of this virus. That's why nobody can go inside, and usually they told the people, residents inside the ashram, don't go outside either. But we know, as I talk about the time limit, we will see. Is Swami's timing, if we have to only accept. Make a decision for us, we have to accept. I don't live in Puttaparthi. I'm not happy here because I'm able to go to the ashram all the time, or do seva. My relationship with Swami is behind all these things is happening outside. Is not my happiness is not depend on living in Puttaparthi. It doesn't depend on being in the ashram or working in the ashram. Is deeper than that. That's why I'm waiting like everybody else to see, and I'm wishing to see all of you there one day, and don't lose this opportunity to come to the holiest place in the world, birthplace of Avatar. This is the most gracious place in the world.
Thank you, Nooshin.
Thank you.
Tell
welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Nooshin, I think Ray, you had a question?
Yes, I wonder, Nooshin, do you have any secrets to pass on how to get closer to Swami on the inner level? Do you have any insights? What did you do to get so close to Swami on the inside? Dreams and the like.
You mean the inside in my heart you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, you say there's Swami talked about the outer relationship, and we know how he was with us. He smiled at everybody, treated everybody nicely. But then there are some devotees with whom he has an inner connection. Do you have any suggestions on how to improve the inner connection?
I cannot talk for everybody. I just can talk for myself. I think one of the reasons, first of all, there is no secret. What makes Swami close to all of us is purity of the heart. What we think, what we say, how we act, it should be in harmony. We have to be grateful to ourselves. And in this lockdown, so many people, they were pretending they are not afraid of this coronavirus. But it's not good. If you're afraid, it's okay to say I'm afraid of it, or I'm concerned. It's just be truthful to yourself. Don't lie to yourself, because God is there, and effort. I took my steps towards Swami. Every opportunity came, I took I wanted, this yearning was there. I had so much yearning to be close to Swami. Of course, first it comes His blessing, His grace, and our past karmas also. Because in one of my dreams, long time back, only the second trip I was in India, Swami was in Whitefield. In one of the dreams, he told me, Rama, Krishna, and I love you. Well, that time I was not even familiar so much with Rama, Krishna, and in this lifetime, I'm telling you, I'm just don't know what's going on. But he was reminding me, you were with Rama, you were with Krishna, you are with me, and we all love you.
Shri Mahaganapataye Namah.